Hello everybody and welcome to this OET speaking lesson. My name is Grace from Swoosh English and I will be your teacher for today. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're looking forward to this OET speaking class where I'll be giving you lots of advice to help you pass your OET speaking test. So let's get started and see what we will be looking at in the class today. So our lesson aims for this class. We're going to learn and review the scoring criteria for OET speaking. We're also going to learn about appropriate kinds of open and closed questions that you should ask during the OET speaking test, as well as those to avoid. And then you will have the opportunity to take part in a OET role play. So in a little while, I'm going to be posting a link into the comments. And if you feel brave and you would like to come and do a sample OET speaking role play with me today and receive some feedback, you will have that opportunity. So stand by and I will be posting that link in the comments shortly. You'll then get to listen to the feedback for the student who completes the role play and also give your own feedback. So this is a great opportunity for you to get some ideas and to see how to do the role play. And then if we have time at the end, we will do some questions. So let's begin. Now, before we go into the class, if you are interested in getting some more expert tips and advice to pass your OET exam the first time, we are offering the chance to join our free online OET preparation masterclasses. So if you're interested in getting more information, more tips and tricks from OET experts, then this is for you. So in these masterclasses, we'll be giving you exam preparation strategies and methods. We will also be giving some tips and activities for all 4 OET skills. Your questions will be answered live in the class, so you have a chance to come and ask all of those burning OET questions you have, plus plenty of other bonuses and surprises. So stay until the end of the class and I will explain how you can join those masterclasses. And if you take a look in the comments, you will also see a link there for you. So more to come on that later. But now let's dive in to the class. So I would like to know from everybody watching, what do you plan to do when you pass your OET exam? Does anyone have any plans? Let me know in the comments. So write in the comments what you're planning to do once you've passed the OET. Maybe you have a specific country that you would like to go to. Maybe you already have a job ready and waiting for you. You just need to pass your exam. Let me know in the comments, what do you plan to do? So I can see that we've got Lillian watching today. Hi Lillian, it's very nice to see you. Lots of people saying hello. So yeah, I would love to know more about everyone who's watching today. What do you plan to do? Let me know in the comments. So I'm going to ask another question now. Oh, and we've got somebody saying work. Yep, that is why we take the exam, for work. Well, hopefully you are able to get your dream job after passing the OET. What about your biggest challenge? What is your biggest challenge with OET speaking? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you find it difficult to think of the right vocabulary. Maybe you find it difficult to speak fluently. Maybe you get nervous and that affects your performance in the role play. What's your biggest challenge with OET speaking? Write me a message and let me know. Hopefully we can help address some of those challenges today. Hi Jasmine, nice to have you here. Hello. Okay, next question. Yep, we've got someone saying they feel nervous. That's really common, don't worry. The best way to deal with that is to get lots of practice before the real test. Now, another question for you. There are 2 sets of scoring criteria. What are they? So here's a good question for anyone who's currently studying for OET. Do you remember the 2 sets of scoring criteria? So we've got a couple of people talking about their challenges. Varuni says vocabulary, how to follow the role play categories, so the tasks, I think, and at the same time speak and look at what to do next. Yep, well, the important thing there is to use your planning time, so the preparation time that you get at the start, to use that to the best of your ability so you can be prepared. But yes, that is definitely a challenge. Now, does anyone know the 2 sets of scoring criteria? I'll just give another moment for everyone to think. Okay, hopefully everyone got this. We've got the linguistic criteria and the clinical communication criteria. And we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about what you have to do for each of the criteria. So let's start with the linguistic criteria. We have 4 ones here: intelligibility, fluency, appropriateness of language, and resources of grammar and expression. So intelligibility is all about the impact of your pronunciation, your intonation, and how clearly you can be understood by the listener. Fluency, so this is your ability to speak at a natural pace without too many hesitations and pauses to help your listener understand. Appropriateness of language, so this is the impact of your choice of language, your tone, your professionalism, and how that affects your listener's understanding and comfort. And then we have resources of grammar and expression, so the impact of your level of grammatical accuracy and the choices of vocabulary that you make. So these are the 4 linguistic criteria. Now let's move on and take a look at the clinical communication criteria. So there are 5 for this category. We have relationship building. This is the impact of how you open the conversation and how you demonstrate empathy and respect towards your listener. Okay, so it's all about showing empathy, which is a really important part of the role play. Next, we have understanding and incorporating the patient's perspective. So this is your ability to involve the patient in the conversation, and again, to help your patient or your listener feel comfortable. Next, we have providing structure. So this is the impact of how you can organize the information that you provide and introduce new topics while helping your listener to understand. So giving structure to your information. Next is information gathering. So this is the way you get information from the patient. So the questions that you ask and your ability to gather information effectively. We're going to look at that today and focus on questions. And then information giving. So this is how you are able to provide information and check that your patient or your listener has understood the information you've provided. So those are the clinical communication criteria. Now we're going to do some practice today and we're going to give feedback on the criteria, so stay tuned for that. Now we're going to talk a little bit about questions and then have a mini quiz. So what are open and closed questions? So 2 types of questions that you must be able to use during the role play, and you must know what type of question to ask and when. So first, we have open questions. Now we use these to gather information and get more detail. Can anyone write an example of an open question in the comments? If you can think of an example, please do write it and share it in the comments. Now let me provide you with an example. So here we go. How would you describe your pain? This is an open question because it gives the listener the opportunity to respond with more flexibility, more detail. It's much more open and broad, so the information you get can be more detailed. Asel, that's a great example. How are you feeling? Yeah, that's an open question because we have many possibilities for an answer. Okay, so that's great, Asel. Well done. Now, in contrast, a closed question. Can anyone write an example of a closed question in the comments? This is to get specific information or to check understanding. So the question that you have has only a limited number of answers. For example, yes or no. Or it might just be something very specific. Okay. Asel, do you have pain? Okay, so that could be a yes or no answer. So that is a closed question. Or, for example, have you experienced these symptoms before? This is to get a very specific answer. So you can see how in the role play, you need to use a mix of open and closed questions to gather the information that you need. Okay, do you feel pain now? Yeah, okay, that's a good closed question because the answer is yes or no. Excellent, everybody. Now, let's take a look at the types of questions to avoid. Firstly, compound questions. What are compound questions? Have you had shortness of breath or felt dizzy when exercising? Can you see in this question, we're asking about two separate things. We're asking about shortness of breath and feeling dizzy. If you ask a question like this, the patient might only answer one of them, or it might cause confusion. So it creates uncertainty on how to answer the questions. It can also confuse the question and disrupt the role play flow, because if your patient only answers one of those questions, you have to ask again to get the answer to the other question. So compound questions where we're asking two things in the same question, avoid this. Next, leading questions. What are leading questions? You've put on weight, haven't you? This is a leading question because it encourages the patient to say yes, whereas that might not actually be the case. So it's based on an assumption, and it can be difficult for your patient to contradict that. It might not be true, but they might say yes anyway. So this is not a good type of question. And next, an inappropriate closed question. What is this? Do you understand? Am I being clear? What's wrong with these questions? Well, they are often perceived as quite aggressive. They're very direct, very short, not an appropriate way to ask if your patient has understood. Do you understand? It's quite short, a bit aggressive. Exactly, yes, I can see people writing in the comments, they do sound rude. So a more appropriate way, is everything I said clear to you? Can I check that you've understood all of the information so far? Yep, does that make sense? Okay, so thinking about how you can ask those check-in questions in a more appropriate and polite way. Now, we're going to have a mini quiz to see how much everyone can remember from what we've just looked at. Now, I'm going to post a link into the chat now because after the quiz, I'm going to get somebody into the class to practice a role play with me. So if you are a nurse and you would like to come up here and practice a real OET role play with me and receive some feedback, then you can access the class by clicking on the link that you can see in the comments now. I would love to have someone come into the class and practice with me. We only have limited spaces available, so go to the link now if you're a nurse, click on it, and it will allow you to join the class. Okay? Now, in the meantime, let's do our mini quiz. So, for each question, you need to decide, is it open, closed, compound, or leading? Write in the comments. So question 1, how often do you drink alcohol? So write in the comments, is it open, closed, compound, or leading? I'm just going to give everyone 5 seconds to write their answer. Got someone not saying open, open. Got a few people, oh, leading. Now a leading question would be, you drink alcohol a lot, don't you? Yeah, can you see how that's leading the patient to an answer? Well done, everyone. If you said open, yes, this is an open question. Okay, next. That is good news, right? What type of question is this? Think about how this question is structured and what the patient's most likely answer would be. That's good news, right? Okay. Good. Yeah, well done. Some people saying it's a leading question. Exactly, because this is leading the patient to say yes, even if they don't agree. Next. Hello, Ryan. How are you feeling today? What type of question is this? I think someone already wrote an example of this question earlier. What do we think? Good. I can see some answers coming in now. Open, open. Yeah. Well done. It is open because it can have a broad range of answers. Good. Do you feel better knowing what your next steps are? Okay, what type of question is this? Do you feel better? This is a nice question to ask if we want to check how the patient is feeling, and this demonstrates that we're showing empathy as well. Yeah, good, well done. It is a closed question because the answer to this would be yes or no. There's a limited number of answers for this question. Okay, very good. Don't forget, everybody, that link to join the class is posted in the comments right now. If you would like to come and do a role play with me in a minute, click on that link. Okay, next one. Have you been applying ice to your injury or taking anti-inflammatory medication? Now, what type of question is this? Have a look at that. How many things are we asking? Let's see. Oh, very good. We've got an answer in there already. Can you see we're asking about 2 things in this question? Have you been applying ice or taking inflammatory medication? The patient has to answer 2 things here. This is a compound question and it's not appropriate. So not a good question to ask. Have I made myself clear to you? What type of question is this? Okay. All right. Yep, good. I can see some answers coming in now. Very good. If you said closed, you are correct. They're checking that the patient has understood, and the answer would be yes or no. So it's a closed question, limited number of answers. It's not inappropriate. It's okay. This one. Have I made myself clear to you? Yeah. Okay, well done, everybody. That was excellent. So now you've got a good idea of the different types of questions to ask in the role play. We are going to do some practice. Now I can see I have one person in the class right now, which is Delini. Delini, I will be bringing you in just a moment. Now, everybody else, I have a job for you to do while you are listening to the role play. You can see on the screen, we have some assessment questions. While you are listening to the role play, I'd like you to think about these questions. So what did they do well? What could they improve? And then you can share your feedback in the comments. This is a great way to improve your own performance by watching other people. So I'd love to get everyone involved. So these are the questions we're going to be thinking about, covering the linguistic criteria as well as the clinical communication criteria. Now I'm going to bring our very lucky student into the class now, and help prepare for the role play. So Delini, I am bringing you into the class now. Hello. Hi Delini, are you there? Oh dear, maybe have a microphone problem. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, hello, how are you?
I am fine, ma'am. I have a problem with my electricity, and now I have a power cut.
Oh no. Well, I can hear you. You have a good connection. Would you like to do the role play with me?
Um,
You don't have to if you don't want to, but you're the only student who's volunteered. Would you like to?
ma'am, I think I can do next time.
Okay, okay. If you really don't want to, I will not force you to do it. That's completely fine. But if you do, there is absolutely no pressure to do a perfect job. That's the whole reason why we do this, just to practice. But you're sure you don't want to have a go? Oh, that's okay. No worries. I think that if you have a power cut, that might cause some problems. Delini, I'm going to remove you from the class now. Okay, well, let's have a look. I'm going to post the link another time and see if anyone else would like to come in and have a go at doing the role play with me. So if you go to the comments now, you should see a link there. I will give everyone a few moments. If not, that's okay. We can just have more time for a question and answer session instead. But it would be really great to get someone in to do some practice with me. Remember, practice is the only way to improve, and you do not have to do a perfect job. No one expects that. There's always room to improve, but also it's great to just have a go. And I will be very nice with my feedback, I promise. Okay, I'll just wait another couple of moments, and if nobody wants to come in, then we will skip the role play for today. That's okay. Let me show you the role play card. Maybe once everyone's seen the card, they'll feel a little bit more confident. So let's have a look at this task here. We've got we have a nurse role card. We're at a community health center, and you can see that you have a few lines just explaining the setting. Okay. And then we have the task with a few bullet points that you need to complete. Oh, wonderful. I can see that we have Lillian has joined the class. Lillian, would you like to come in and have a go at this role play? Okay, let me bring you in now. Hi, Lillian.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm very fine, and you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Would you like to have a go at this role play?
Ah, yes, I will.
Amazing, thank you so much. You are my hero today. So, Lillian, is this the first time you've done a role play, or have you done one before?
That's the first time.
Okay, excellent. So you can see here on the screen your role card. So you are a nurse and you've got your tasks that you'll need to complete here. Now I'm going to give you 3 minutes to read the card, make some notes and prepare. Okay, so in that 3 minutes, you don't need to speak. You can just prepare, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so your 3 minutes starts now. Okay, everybody else, while Lillian is preparing to do the role play, I would encourage you all to have a look at the task, have a look at the bullet points, and think about how you would approach this task, okay? So what types of questions could you ask? And how would you gather and provide information? Okay, so I'm just going to be quiet for a moment while Lillian prepares for her role play. Okay, Lillian, so that's your 3 minutes of preparation time. So now we're going to have 5 minutes for the role play where you will complete the tasks on the card. After 5 minutes, I will stop you, so don't worry. But I will be your patient, okay? So everyone else, while you're listening, remember to take some notes and give feedback. Okay, Lillian, when you're ready, you can start.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon. My name is Nurse Lillian, and I'll be your nurse for today. So, how may I know you, please?
Yes, my name is Grace. Nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you. So, will it be fine if I address you as Grace?
Yes.
Okay, Grace. Okay, so Grace, I have noticed that your your card shows that you have some panic attacks. Could you tell me more about them?
Yes, so I kind of have been having these episodes where I've been short of breath and I'm trembling and I can like hear my heart pounding really loudly. And yeah, I guess they're panic attacks. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So, for how long have you been experiencing this, Grace?
Well, it usually lasts for about 20 minutes. And yeah, they're sort of quite frequently.
Have you had this kind of symptoms or issues before now?
No,
Oh, that's the first time.
I've never experienced anything like this before.
Okay, Grace. So tell me, why are you having this kind of attacks now? Is there anything it's disturbing you that is making you have this kind of issue?
Well, I do have an important exam coming up in about 2 months, and I suppose I feel quite anxious about that.
Oh, I see, Grace. So I think you're having this because of the exams that is coming in few weeks' time. I think it's a normal response. It's something for you to feel this way, especially now that you'll be having an exam that is important for you. So I understand why you're actually having this panic attacks. I understand you're a little bit fearful, or you think the exam will not turn out good or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really worried about these panic attacks, and actually, I was thinking maybe it was something a bit more serious, like I have a more serious problem, maybe.
Okay, I understand what your problem is now, but there are other ways that you can.
Oh, Lillian, I think I've lost you. Okay, looks like we might have just lost Lillian there. I'll just give her a moment in case she comes back. Oh, no, I don't think so. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. That was going really well. That was a really great role play. But I think, unless it's me who's been disconnected, but I assume everyone can still see and hear me. I think it seems like, yeah, we've lost Lillian. Oh, what a shame. Okay, well, we were about halfway into the role play. Maybe she had a power cut. I would imagine it was something like that. I can see some really nice comments in the chat, in the comments here, saying she did great. Some people clapping. That's lovely. Yes, I agree. And Lillian, if you're watching, you were doing great. Okay, what I'm going to do is to start giving some feedback on the performance so far. So Lillian, hopefully you can watch this back later and get some feedback, even though you didn't get to finish. People saying in the comments here that you did a great job. Yeah, we were about 3.5 points through the 5 points on the roll card. So definitely was on the right tracks there. Some comments that I have for Lillian that I think she did really well at here was the use of open and closed questions, which is what we focused on in the class today. So she used appropriate closed questions when she needed to get specific information. So she says, have you experienced this kind of thing before? She said, how long have you been experiencing? Now, I actually think that in the roll card, yeah, now in the roll card, it did say duration. So let me just bring that up here. So you can see, find out details. It says duration. Now, Lillian, I think you said how long, oh, no, sorry. Yeah, how long have you been experiencing these? That question is kind of asking about, oh, how many months or how many weeks? Whereas I think in the task, it meant the duration of the actual panic attacks, which was 20 minutes. However, your question was appropriate because it was a closed question. So just a little thing to be careful of there, where it says duration, it's asking about the duration of the symptoms, or in this case, the panic attacks. But everything else, yep, you asked about the symptoms, you asked about previous occurrences. That was great. Your questions were very accurate. Another thing that I liked at the beginning of the role play, you said, can I address you as Grace? So you asked how I wanted to be called. Just check your the way you ask my name. I think you said, may I know you? More appropriate question would be, may I know your name, please? Yeah, may I know your name, please? But good that you asked how I wanted to be addressed. That was nice. I think that you incorporated the patient's perspective very well, because you said things like, oh, I see, I understand, okay. Those kinds of phrases are a good way to show that you are understanding. So yes, and I mean, apart from being cut off halfway through, you know, it was going really well. We were about 3.5 minutes in, so you were on track to finish the rest of the points within the 5 minutes. So Well done, Lillian. And I'm sorry that you weren't able to finish, but I'm very grateful that you came in to practice with me today. And thank you, everybody, for your comments. Hopefully you found that useful as well. Okay, so we've gone over those assessment questions. Now, that is the end of our class today, but I did tell you at the beginning that I was going to share some interesting information with you about the opportunity to join our OET Masterclass. So, if you found this lesson useful today and you would like more expert tips and advice on how to pass your OET test, you can join our free online OET preparation masterclasses. So, in these masterclasses, we will be providing exam preparation strategies and methods, some tips and activities on all 4 OET skills, and we will answer your questions live in the class. So it's an opportunity for you to come with all your questions. We will also be sharing other bonuses and surprises throughout the class. Now you can see the link to sign up for that is in the comments now. But I would also like to show you another way that you can join. So if you're watching today's class from YouTube, click on Show More in the description. So just below this video in the description, click on Show More. And you will see the masterclass link directly below here. And all you have to do is click on the masterclass link and get signed up. If you're watching this video on Facebook, go to the description and click on the link here. And you can also check out the comments because I've posted the link in the comments there for you as well. Once you've clicked on that link, all you have to do is put your name and email in the boxes indicated here. And that is it. You will sign up for our masterclass. Alternatively, you are always welcome to email us. So inquiries@swooshenglish.com. If you write masterclass, our team will be really happy to get you set up to join our masterclass. I do recommend you join those because you'll get so much expert knowledge, tips, advice. If you found this class useful, you will definitely benefit from joining those classes as well. It's a great opportunity to get your questions answered. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I really appreciate anyone who came into the class to do some speaking practice today. Maybe next time I'll be able to bring you into the class and you can do a practice role play with me. But in the meantime, happy studying, everybody, and I hope to see you in a class very, very soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.